Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. Well, a couple of familiar faces will be at Comerica Park the next 3 days. Former Tiger Matt Joyce is in town with Tampa Bay, and so is another familiar face, Johnny Damon, wearing Rays colors these days as well. Cloudy, overcast night here at the ballpark. However, the sun is doing its best to peek through the clouds. We will have baseball tonight, albeit a little bit delayed. Game 1 of this 3-game series featuring the Tampa Bay Rays and your Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen, glad to have you with us for the first game in this series. Tigers return home after dropping 2 out of 3 against the Pittsburgh Pirates, so it's time now to start a new winning streak, and maybe, just maybe, it's Phil Koch to get the job done here, Rod. His last start against the Boston Red Sox was really quite good.
You know, I don't think Phil Koch can pitch any better than he did 5 days ago in Boston. Very hostile environment. They have some of your better big league players in the whole game. Adrian Gonzalez would be one of those guys, but what Phil did in that game, he limited the left-handers to no hits and 11 at-bats. He didn't walk anybody. He got double plays when he needed to get double plays. His sinker ball was tremendous, and he threw his breaking ball at a couple of different speeds. Phil Koch was simply sensational in Boston that night, and they will need him to go out there and be as effective here in Comerica Park if they're going to get this win tonight, because this Rays team is very, very pesky.
A couple of good teams coming in on this homestand, including the Tampa Bay Rays here tonight. They tell us a 7:30 start time for this one. So in the meantime, we'll send you back to the Call Sam studio now. And here's Mickey York. Phil Koch will get the start tonight for the Tigers. And Koch, of course, coming off a tremendous start his last time out, in which he went 7 strong at Fenway Park on the last road trip, gave up 3 hits and no runs. And Rod, when you look at the Tigers starters, period, their numbers have been really good.
Well, coming into the season, we had an idea it would be one of the stronger portions of this 2011 Detroit Tigers team. And they have been every bit as good as advertised. You have a Verlander, a Scherzer, a Koch, you have a Porcello. They've all done wonderful work, and Penny has had some outstanding starts himself.
All right, so Phil Koch trying to make it another outstanding start here in this one. Stay with us. Lineup's first pitch, Tigers, Rays. It's all coming up next. For game 1 of this 3-game series here at the ballpark, Tigers returning back home, hoping for better things as they come in at 500 tonight. By the way, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get yourself a free small order of curly fries. FoxSportsDetroit.com is where you can find the Tigers box score on the baseball page. Well, Johnny Damon returns to Detroit. Of course, he spent the 2010 season here in the Motor City. He's signing autographs right now, and earlier Johnny told us that his time in Detroit was pretty special to him.
There were a lot of nice little accomplishments that I did get last year, but I mean, just the fans and the way they backed the team was very special. And I love seeing these young kids grow up right in front of my eyes, and it was the very same young kids that, you know, ended up being what was the reason why I have to go.
So Johnny Damon is back in town, and he's sporting some facial hair. Not quite like the facial hair he had when he played in Boston. But Johnny, of course, always has a particular look. And Johnny, I think, provided some things to this ball club and this organization. Even though he didn't have a great year on the field, Rod, he did provide this organization with a lot of positives.
Jim Leland had nothing but glowing words for Johnny Damon, his professionalism, the way that he worked with the young kids on and off the field. He was outstanding here. The only thing that Jim wished that he would have done a little bit more, and that's it. But that's a manager's prerogative. But Johnny Damon's an outstanding individual. And Jim Leland also said Johnny Damon is closing on numbers that's going to give him some consideration for the Hall of Fame.
And Joe Madden, his current manager, said he already has provided a lot to his current team. Meanwhile, Phil Koch is getting set to take the mound now for the Tigers. Some last-minute chatting here with Alex Avila, his battery mate. We'll check out the starting lineup for the visiting Tampa Bay Rays today. It is presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. And for the Rays, it'll be B.J. Upton leading it off. He'll play center field. Johnny Damon is the DH batting second. Evan Longoria had some time on the DL earlier this year, struggling right now at 227. Ben Zobrist in right field. Sean Rodriguez at second. Felipe Lopez at first base. Shopik, Johnson, and Fold are your bottom 3 tonight for the Tampa Bay Rays. Meanwhile, the scouting report on Phil Koch tonight is presented by Ace Hardware.
Well, how about a repeat performance by Phil Koch tonight against the Tampa Bay Rays? He was sensational 5 days ago against the Boston Red Sox. 7 shutout innings, did not walk a batter in that game. And one of the reasons why his command is improving with all 3 of his pitches, the fastball, the slider, and also the changeup. And believe it or not, it takes a little time making the adjustment from being a reliever to a starter. And Phil, so far, has been very good at that. Let's take a look at the defensive alignment behind Phil Koch. It's always presented by the fine folks at Beaumont Hospital. Dirks, Jackson, Bosch in the outfield. Inge, Peralta, Sizemore, Cabrera. They round out the infield. And the youngster, Alex Avila, is behind the plate catching Phil Koch here tonight.
Well, as we take a look at the numbers on Phil Koch, the one thing you have to remember, Rod, I suppose, is that in 6 of his starts this year, he has given up 2 or fewer runs. The ERA is almost 4 because of a couple of rocky starts, but overall pretty good.
Well, the Tigers had a feeling that when they made the decision last year, at the end of the year, that he was going to be included in the rotation in 2011, they felt like he could make that adjustment, and I guess so far he's proven them right.
And so Koch, who has had really good numbers in his career against Tampa, will make his first start against the Rays, but all of his appearances to this point in relief. So B.J. Upton is strolling toward the batter's box, and for the Rays, I want to talk about some guys off to good starts. They've outscored their opponents in the first 3 innings 76-46.
They have not lost a road series yet. This team plays very well away from their home ballpark, Tropicana Field, in St. Petersburg. They are tremendous on the road. More wins than anybody in baseball right now.
In fact, a much better record on the road than at home. So we'll see if that translates into anything in this series. As B.J. Upton stands in. Bit of a delay tonight, but we have baseball. Sun is shining right now at the ballpark, and 70 degrees our game time temperature. Phil Koch is ready. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. It's down the middle, a strike on B.J. Upton.
B.J. Upton having a pretty good year. 7 home runs, 27 driven in. Leading off here tonight, but he hasn't let off that much this year. Fold has been their leadoff hitter for the most part.
Upton hammers the next one foul, 0-2. Well, he's a multi-dimensional player. He is a terrific defender with a great throwing arm. He will rack up the assists. He can hit for power, can steal bases.
That would be a 5-tool player.
He can do it all. 0-2. Koch is ahead. And he just missed the outside corner.
We just watched another 5-tool player in Pittsburgh yesterday, Andrew McCutchen, their center fielder. BJ has those same type of skills.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Got him on the outer edge. Upton is out of there. 1 gone.
And it looks like Phil Koch has brought that filthy stuff with him once again here tonight. He backdoored BJ with a real good breaking ball. It starts off the plate. BJ gives up on it, and it catches the outside corner, according to home plate umpire Sam Holbrook.
And that could be a good sign tonight for Koch if Holbrook gives him that outside part of the plate, as he did there. Here's Johnny Damon. Damon at 265. And he looks at a fastball on the inside corner. 0-1. Damon has knocked in 28, but much of his damage came early in the season. In fact, he had 20 RBIs in his first 20 games. He slaps that one toward left. It is slicing foul. Just foul. Damon was thinking double. The days of Johnny Damon helping you out defensively in the outfield are probably gone for the most part. Joe Madden could probably stick him out there every now and then, but they look at Johnny as more as a DH right now.
Well, when Manny Ramirez was on their roster at the beginning of the year and Damon was playing some outfield, they didn't feel like they had their best defensive club on the field at that time. They now have a very good defensive club with Damon being the DH.
Bouncing ball hit the first base. This will be routine for Cabrera. Koch will cover, and there are 2 gone. Good start for Phil Koch. That'll bring up Evan Longoria.
Phil Koch has been simply dominant this year against left-handed batters, and it's one of the reasons why Matt Joyce, the former Tiger, is not playing in this game, even though Joyce is up there amongst the leaders as far as batting average is concerned. That gives you an idea of the respect madness showing here tonight for Phil Coke.
Here's Longoria now. I was looking at those numbers and I thought, well, it must be that Joyce just does not hit well against lefties, and he bats 158 against left-handed pitching this year.
He must be hitting about 700 against right-handers.
Exactly. Here's the 1-0. That's popped up. Shallow right field. Bosch coming in.
He's scuffling right now, Longoria.
So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Phil Coke. Nicely done by the Tigers left-hander. Off as we check out the Tigers starting lineup presented by Big Boy. Sizemore will follow, then Brennan Bosch. Miguel Cabrera has been really good with men in scoring position this year, 457. Martinez is the DH. Andy Dirks in right field. Peralta, Avila, and Inge. Actually, Dirks in left. And that's your bottom three, Peralta, Avila, and Inge. Here is the scouting report on Jeremy Hellickson. And get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you.
For a young guy, they tell us he's got great mound presence, and we had a chance to see that last year as well. And he's got a plus-plus changeup, a legitimate swing and miss pitch. He will throw it to the right-handers. He will also throw it to the left-handers. And he has been somewhat of a road warrior in his very brief Major League career. He has won 6 games, and he has not lost a game away from Tropicana Field.
And so, as you can see, the sun has made an appearance here at the ballpark as the clouds are breaking up. Had a lot of rain here before the game in spurts, actually. Here is Jackson to lead it off against Hellickson. And he swings in the first and fouls it back.
And to go along with the outstanding changeup that Hellickson has, he has a fastball anywhere from 89 to 92 miles an hour. He has a curveball. And it doesn't really cut it, doesn't really sink it. It's pretty much straight fastballs. Changeups have some fading action, and a 12-6 curveball.
The 0-1. The other thing they tell us about Hellickson is that A, he will never change expression throughout the course of the game, and B, he really likes to chew his bubblegum. He will chomp on it from the first pitch to the last pitch. And the 24-year-old out of Des Moines, Iowa, making the start. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball is popped up right side of the infield for Sean Rodriguez.
Let's take a look at the Tampa Bay Rays defensively. It's presented by Tim Hortons. It's Fold, it's Upton in the outfield along with Zobrist, Longoria, Johnson, Rodriguez, Lopez. They round out the infield. And Kelly Shoppett, the former Cleveland Indian, putting down the signs tonight for Jeremy Hellickson.
Here is Scott Sizemore batting in the 2 slot, was 1 for 8 in the series in Pittsburgh. And Hellickson comes right at the knees with strike 1. Scott batting 208, had 3 hits and 8 at bats against them last year. It's against Rays pitching. It's fouled back out of play, 0-2. Sizemore has knocked in 4, had that big first game after coming up from TBA Toledo, the 3 hits against the Yankees. And the 0-2 pitch. That's lifted in the air, shallow center field and right at B.J. Upton. 2 outs.
Hellickson comes in making his 9th start of the year for Tampa. He has 1 complete game. He's won 4 games in a row. No other Rays rookie in their history has won 5 games in a row. So that's something that the youngster Jeremy Hellickson will be trying to do here tonight.
He's pitching in front of a lot of friends and family. He hails from Des Moines, Iowa, and his aunts and cousins, his grandmother, all made the 9-hour-plus drive from Des Moines. And they are in attendance here tonight.
That's pretty cool.
Cool indeed. Brendan Bosch batting .267.
You said you used to take that drive from the Iowa area to the Motor City quite often.
I did. It's quite a drive. When I did minor league baseball in Quad City in Davenport, Iowa, it took about 8.5 hours to get home because I always obeyed the speed limit, Ron, and so I never sped home.
Isn't your wife from that area?
She is indeed. She's from the Quad Cities.
Okay.
We met there, you know. There's a ball inside, 2-1. I was an A-ball announcer. She took a big-time chance.
Yes, she did. She saw the potential, though. That's what my wife tells me all the time. You were broke when I met you.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Wave and a miss. 2-2 on Bosch.
About 30% of the pitches that Hellickson has thrown this year, he has got swing and misses. I mean, 30%. He's not overpowering. That's rare to hear of a guy that gets as many swings and misses as he does without an overpowering fastball. But that changeup, however, is a whole different animal. It is a tremendous pitch for him.
Bosch fouls it away.
As a matter of fact, the Tigers know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that they're going to get lots of changeups here today from Hellickson. The key for them is to show enough patience in trying to drive that ball up the middle and the other way. You can't try to pull it. If you do, you roll over. Lots of ground balls.
Cabrera waiting on deck. Bosch batting with 2 outs here in the first after a 27-minute rain delay for this one. We're underway. And again, the 2-2. Popped in the air, shallow center field. Upton coming on. He'll make the running catch. And that is that. Tigers go 1-2-3 against Jeremy Hellickson. At Dodge.com or see your local dealer today. And by Arby's, stop by today and try the Market Fresh grilled chicken and pecan salad sandwich. Back here at Comerica Park in what has turned out to be a very nice evening. hopefully for the rest of the night. No score as we go to the top of the second. Our first look at the Tampa Bay Rays this year. And Phil Koch will climb back on top of the hill facing Ben Zobrist, Sean Rodriguez, and Felipe Lopez. Koch had a 1-2-3 first with a strikeout, a ground out, and a fly out. Zobrist at 260 with 8 home runs. He is in the middle right now, or struggling right now with an 0 for 17, so he's trying to snap that. Off to a pretty good start this year, though, aside from that. And he pops that one up behind the plate. Avila will run out of room. No balls, 2 strikes on Zobrist, who is considered a utility guy, but I'm not sure that's the best way to describe him since he starts a lot of games.
He's better in the outfield than he is in the infield.
Zobrist last year started 144 games and played 5 different positions.
He was an all-star the year before.
He had a great year 2 years ago.
That he did.
Earned himself a nice little contract. Koch missing low, 1-2. Well, it's an interesting team that Joe Maddon has. It is built certainly around pitching and defense. They've done very well in both of those aspects, and they're getting enough offense. The 1-2 pitch. 2-2.
That's something that Phil Koch did very well against the Boston Red Sox. He was not afraid to pitch inside to make some guys move their feet. And now he can go one of 2 ways. He can go back inside with a good fastball, or he can go something soft down and away from Zobrist.
Bouncing ball, second base side. Sizemore has it. Zobrist is out.
Let's take a look at how Phil Koch set Zobrist up. We talked about the fastball inside. This is just a purpose pitch. Okay, I'm going to go inside. I'm going to make him move his feet, which he does. And then he goes back outside with a changeup. It's not down where you want it, but the result is still a good result. He rolled over that pitch for a harmless ground ball.
And he's retired the first 4 men that he has faced. Here is Sean Rodriguez. He was acquired from the Angels in the Scott Kazmir deal a couple of years ago. Kazmir, of course, has fizzled with the Angels. He has really struggled.
What happened to Kazmir?
No idea. Boy, he was so dominant. A lot of strikeouts. Roll to the shortstop. Easy play for Peralta. 2 gone. So 5 in a row retired by Koch. That'll bring up Felipe Lopez. I mentioned this is Koch's first start in his career against the Rays. However, in 14 relief appearances, he's given up just 2 runs in 14 innings. Lopez is back with the ball club. Reed Brignac is on the bereavement list, and so Lopez was recently called up for the 2nd time.
He's a 10-year veteran. He has spent 10 years in the major leagues. And there was a time when Felipe was thought of as a top-notch middle infielder. Made an all-star team back in 2005.
Yeah, he was really good that year with the Cincinnati Reds. Won a Silver Slugger award. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Little chopper back up the middle. Here comes the shortstop Peralta. Barehanded play, and he throws him out.
I see you, Johnny.
Nicely done by Johnny Peralta.
he hit the ball extremely hard for the most part. And he told me before the game today he made a little bit of adjustment with his front foot. He opened up a little bit, which allowed him to drive the ball to right field with some authority. Most of his at-bats in that series against Pittsburgh were the opposite way.
Well, it was certainly good to see at PNC Park. He was 5 for 12 in that series.
And even though he had a slow 2 weeks, he is still right up there in the first 3 in just about every productive offensive category.
It'll be Cabrera, Martinez, and Dirks here in the second, facing Hellickson. No score. Phil Koch has retired 6 straight. Hellickson got him 1, 2, 3 in the first.
Oh, yes, you can see that he's a little bit open there with the front side.
He'll go down the right field line. It's pronounced, isn't it?
Yeah, and most guys usually, when they have an opportunity to open up, they're opening up because they're being beat on fastballs. But Cabrera opened up because he said he wasn't driving the ball the opposite way with authority. But yes, he is open much more than he usually is. And look, game of cat and mouse going on here so far between Shopik and the Tigers hitters. Shopik knows the Tigers hitters very well because he caught in Cleveland. So he knows a lot of them, and very few changeups have been thrown by Hellickson in this game so far. Very few changeups.
There's one.
Yep.
And he got a strikeout with it. It's his first of the game. Cabrera goes down swinging.
It's one of the things that Hellickson can do. He will throw that changeup to the right-handers and the left-handers, and he will locate it inside and outside. So he's got really good command with that pitch.
I would imagine you'd have to have pretty good confidence to throw that pitch to a guy like Cabrera.
Especially if that ball fades down and in. I mean, that's kind of like his happy zone.
1 out for Victor Martinez. Victor at 302. He's got some really big numbers. Career against the Rays, 384. And for Martinez, 1 for 8 in the series against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Still having a pretty good month of May, 357 this month. Here's the 1-0 pitch. 2 balls, no strikes on Martinez. Here's the 2-0. He's taking inside 3-0. Ryan Perry is throwing in the Detroit bullpen.
New look, too.
Oh,
got a haircut.
Where did it all go? Just getting some work in, we assume. High fly ball hit well toward left center field. Upton will glide back there and make the play. So on a 3-0 pitch, Victor's swinging away. 2 gone. Bring up Andy Dirks.
That's one of the things that Jim tries to encourage some of his big boys to do in that swing 3-0. Obviously, Victor would fall into that category. Miguel Cabrera, he would fall into that category along with Brennan Bosch. He doesn't mind giving a green light to guys in that particular count.
Dirks batting in the 6th slot in this game. He looks at strike 1.
And it's really not just the big guys. Didn't he give Jackson the green light on a 3-0 count a couple of nights ago in Pittsburgh?
He did. Trying to get something going. The 0-1. Bouncing ball right side. Routine play there for Rodriguez. So Hellickson matching Koch. It's a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the 3rd.
866-66-TIGER or log on to tigers.com.
Spectacular is very accurate. Always a great show. Big homestand, by the way, not just with the teams coming in. You've got the Twins, the Red Sox, and the Rays, of course. But here are some of the happenings.
Polish American Night, Justin Verlander poster giveaway, and College Night. Ooh, how about that?
So some good times here in the next 10 games at Comerica Park.
You know a little something about them college nights.
I do indeed. I won't lie to you.
I know you do.
I do indeed. Fun times. Long time ago, though. But fun times indeed. Kelly Shopik will lead it off as we go to the third. It'll be Shopik, Johnson, and Fold. The 7, 8, 9 guys in the lineup for Joe Madden.
Shopik's kind of dangerous on occasion. The batting average is not very high. It's just at 171, but he does have some pop in his bat. If you make a mistake inside, he can hurt you.
And he looks at ball one just off the outside part of the plate.
And Shopik's got a wide open stance, inviting the fastball inside. The hips are already cleared out of the way, which speeds the bat up.
1-0. Shopik last year batted just $196. He's hitting 171 right now. As you mentioned, he does have occasional power, but when we saw him play when he was with Cleveland, he seemed to be a much better hitter at that point in his career.
He was backing up Victor Martinez in Cleveland the 1 year Victor got hurt. It's when Kelly put up career numbers.
Wave and a miss. 1-2.
Nice changeup there by Phil. So far mixing in all of his pitches through the first couple of innings.
Neither team has a base runner yet as we play here in the third. Here's the 1-2 to Shopik. Lifted in the air, right field, not deep at all. Here comes Bosch. One gone. Game break time. We go back to the studio. Here's Mickey York. It's not funny anymore, is it?
No, it's not. It's not funny anymore.
It's unbelievable.
He is no joke.
Blue Jays 2.5 out. Things are bunched up at the top of the American League East.
We know Joe Madden will do some unconventional things. We watched him walk Cabrera 3 straight nights in Tampa last year with first base occupied. He has done the same thing already to Jose Bautista this year. It was a game where the Rays were leading by 2. There was runners on first and second. He walked Bautista to load the bases and put the winning run on second base.
Yeah, he's not afraid to make moves like that, like we've seen him do against Cabrera, and Bautista is in that stratosphere these days. Very difficult to get out, and is hitting home runs by the bunches.
Tremendous individual is Joe Madden. Very well organized. He interviewed for that Boston Red Sox job and finished second to Terry Francona when Francona got that job back in 2004. So it was just a matter of time before he got his own gig.
Yeah, the Rays are happy he did not get that gig. He sat next to Mike Scioscia for quite a few years.
When he was in the Angels organization where he grew up, he held just about every single job in that organization, ending up as the bench coach before getting an opportunity to manage.
Fouled back by Elliott Johnson. He's batting here with 1 out in the third. Johnson is hitting .250. Appeared first in the big leagues back in 2008, very briefly with the Tampa Bay Rays. Hit .319 at AAA last year. Jason Bartlett, one of the Rays that is no longer there. He was kind of the glue to their infield. The 2-2 is inside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. It really is amazing how many pieces this Tampa team has lost from last year's team. And we're talking about all-star quality pieces. Fouled away.
I guess the only question is, can they maintain? I mean, you lose a guy like Crawford. Obviously, Benoit hasn't been the same Benoit he was with them last year, but they also have a new closer, Soriano. He's not there anymore, but Jim Madden has been able to mold them into a very competitive team.
Slice toward right center field. Jackson on the run, still going, and he runs it down.
Jackson just glides in the outfield. Take a look at him. Just glides. I was thinking about this again last night, partner, and I was thinking about Andrew McCutchen of the Pittsburgh Pirates and the amount of times he left his feet in that series in Pittsburgh. I have yet to see Jackson leave his feet.
Yep.
I have yet to see him leave his feet.
Even, we're not even talking diving plays, even sliding plays out there. And I guess if you have the ability and speed to get the balls that you don't have to leave your feet for, which seems to be the case every time, why dive?
He's getting great jumps. And Tom Brookins gives him a very nice scouting report every single day.
Ooh, almost a nice play down there. Everybody okay? He's all right. Sam Full, the batter, hitting .228. It's been kind of an interesting story. He, of course, had a good start to the season for the Tampa Rays. But in his last 21, he's hitting just a .115. The 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He gave them a lot of energy. He got his chance to play when Manny Ramirez retired. He gave him a spark in the outfield and in that leadoff spot.
Involved in that deal with Matt Garza that shipped Garza to the Cubs. Driven to right field, Bosch. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Phil Cope. 9 straight retired. Spartan.com. 27-minute rain delay at the ballpark tonight, but now it's rather nice. A little bit breezy here at the yard. It's still scoreless as we go to the bottom of the third. Jeremy Hellickson is back on the hill facing Peralta, Avila, and Inge. No runs, no hits for either team. It has been pitching dominated so far. Peralta batting .295 with 7 home runs. And he looks at a breaking ball strike. Boy, what a difference, huh? May 22nd last year, 3 homers, .236 average.
Well, that's why we were able to get him. Cleveland hasn't missed him, though. They're rolling. But we're thankful that we have Johnny Peralta.
See the game Asdrubal Cabrera had yesterday?
5 for 5, 2 big flies.
Pretty good. Indians keep rolling. For now, the 1-1 is rolled foul. Cleveland's starting a series with Boston tonight, so they'll be tested.
Yeah, maybe Boston can slow them down a little bit.
Peralta homered in the ball game yesterday in Pittsburgh. One of the 2 runs that the Tigers got for Rick Porcello. He did the rest. Swing and a miss. The Johnny's out of there. Second strikeout for Hellickson. Well, this Saturday, the UEFA Champions League final comes to Fox with an epic clash between 2 of soccer's most renowned teams. Barcelona takes on Manchester United. Exclusive coverage begins Saturday at 2 in high definition on your local Fox station.
If you weren't with us at the top of the show, I told you that about 30% of the pitches that Hellickson throws, he gets swings and misses on. And he doesn't overpower you with a fastball, but he can overpower you with that changeup. He just got another strikeout with that changeup to Peralta.
Here's Avila batting .290. It bounces in 1-0.
The opponents in the American League since August 1st of 2010 are hitting just 204 against Hellickson. The only one that's better is Felix Hernandez. The batting average against him is 199. Verlander's on that list. Weaver's on that list. That's an impressive company.
Well, it is, and Hellickson's name is becoming more and more recognized around the league. And this Rays organization is really pumping out pitchers, aren't they?
Well, that's one of the reasons why they traded Garza to the Cubs. They knew that Hellickson was ready to pitch in the big leagues.
2-0. 3 balls, no strikes on Avila.
Here's his last 4. We told you that no rookie in Rays history has won 5 in a row. And that's what Hellickson's trying to accomplish here tonight.
Hellickson struck out 10 in his first start of the year against the Angels. That is his high watermark in strikeouts. There's a strike on the outer edge, 3-1. Wins against Toronto, Baltimore twice, and Minnesota.
A lot of wind in the yard today, blowing across from right to left.
Hold on to your score sheet.
Yes, indeed.
3-1 pitch. And there's ball 4. Tigers have the game's first runner. Well, there's the rainbow. And there should be a pot of gold at the end of it, right? Let's go check it out.
I'll take the pot of gold.
It's somewhere in the DAC, apparently. What a night. It's been an interesting night. I mean, some of the downpours we had before the game were really heavy, and then they kind of moved out.
I was driving to the ballpark today at about 3 p.m. I almost pulled over.
Really? That hard?
It was raining that hard.
Look at the bright side. You got a free car wash.
I'll take that. I needed it, too.
Here's Brandon Inge. He's batting .211. Wave and a miss, 0-1. Brandon, a modest 3-game hitting streak, had a couple of hits in that series against Pittsburgh. Don Kelly started the first game in that series. Brandon played in the last 2. He has Avila at first base. 1 out. And he laid off the breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hellickson was a 4th-round pick of the Rays back in 2005. They drafted him out of high school. And he really blew right through the minor leagues in Tampa's system. In his minor league career, he was 49-16. So he was pretty dominant. And his ERA was good as well, 2.71. Inge checks his swing. Strike called by Sam Holbrook. 1-2. The other thing about Hellickson this year, they are giving him almost 9 runs a game offensively.
That's nice.
Tonight, though, Phil Koch has shut them out through 3. And the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. For Brandon, 12 RBIs so far this year. Tigers still looking for the first hit of the game. Avila scampers back.
Hellickson's one of those guys that you really can't run on anyway. Avila's not going anywhere, and neither has there been a successful steal for any team while Hellickson's been on the mound this year.
He has taken a very long time to deliver the ball. And the 2-2 inside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. So with a struggling offense here, do they start the runner?
I wouldn't, but I'm not managing. We'll see what Jim wants to do here. You'd love to stay out of a double play, but this kid has shown the ability to throw some pitches up there to get guys to swing and miss, and if that's the case, Shopik will throw Avila out at second base.
The runner goes, and it's swung on, popped up. Foul ground, first base side. Lopez. And Avila has to retreat. Two gone now. Well, this is the time where teams generally are able to get to Hellickson a little bit. Second time through.
I'd say so.
Not a whole lot going down the first time through. And here is Jackson for the second time tonight. Austin popped up. He's 0 for 1. Foul straight back. 0-1 on Jackson.
Well, you can already see the leadership skills of Shopik behind the plate, and also the youngster Hellickson able to follow the leadership of Shopik. They really wanted nothing to do with Avila. They said, okay, you go down to first base, and we'll pitch to these next 2 or 3 right-handers, and we feel like, and we've got a better opportunity to get them out than we have getting you out. So that's just really smart pitching by Hellickson.
Yeah, and his numbers have been really good against those right-handed batters. Jackson lines one to center. That's a base hit. First hit of the ball game for either side. 2-out threat now for the Tigers. So Jackson, who was hitting a lot of balls hard in that series against Pittsburgh, gets rewarded here tonight. He's hit safely in 13 of his last 15. He's going to bring up Sizemore with 2 away. Pretty good with men in scoring position this year, 400. Shopik has to go down to scoop that one up. Hellickson looked a little bit awkward coming off the mound, and now Longoria, the third baseman's coming over.
He slipped, but they're going to check on him. Looked like that left foot either he rolled over on that ankle, or he just slipped when his foot hit the dirt. Take a look at the foot when it plants right here. Right there. Oh, he slipped. That's dangerous.
Ooh, that did not look good.
Hyperextend that to left knee. You can see all the dirt in his cleats, though. He's cleaning them off now, but that's why he slipped. His cleats weren't clean.
And as a result, he threw one in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. Sizemore fly to center field is only time. 0 for 1. Ground ball left side on the backhand. Johnson goes to second for the force. Nice defensive play. This Tampa team can flash some leather.
Foundation. How did you get tied in with that organization?
Well, it all started when I was 16. Didn't know what quite was wrong with me. Went into the doctor and found out that I have histiocytosis X, which is cancer-like. It spreads like cancer, responds to treatment like cancer, but it's not cancer, and ended up going through 17 months of chemo.
You're definitely a fighter, and you got to live out one of your dreams today. Talk a little bit about what your day's been like here at Comerica Park.
It's just been great. Be out here in Detroit, be able to soak in the atmosphere, be out here, see all the Tigers, and hopefully everything goes right, possibly be a pro myself.
Well, we're all pulling for you. Obviously, throwing out the first pitch must have been very exciting for you. Walk me through that, and what were you feeling inside?
I ain't gonna lie, I was a little bit nervous. I tried to just being me, not to show any emotion. Just went out there. My goal was to just get over the plate and try to hit a strike.
All right, well, it was so nice to meet you. We wish you the best of luck, Bill. And Rod and Mario, I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Shannon, thank you very much. Well, that's a foul ball down the third base line. It just rolled foul off the bat of Upton. And we had a chance to meet Bill Rod before the game. Had a chance to speak with him in the booth. Really nice young man. We wish him well.
Took some pictures with him, and we told him not to bounce it either.
And he didn't. It was a great job, Bill.
See our autographs on his bat.
That's right. We just took down the value of that shirt.
No, come on now. Come on now.
1 ball, 1 strike on B.J. Upton.
Anything with the old English D on it, no matter who signs it, it's all good.
Good point. Upton, Damon, and Longoria here in the 4th inning.
Almost an outstanding bunt by B.J. Upton. And you want to keep him off the base paths. The last 3 years, he has stolen at least 40 bases. 60 extra base hits last year. He's a really good player, but he really hasn't come into his own yet.
Upton struck out to start the game. And Upton is aboard, and that's going to be the first base runner of the game for Tampa. Here's the trivia question tonight. As it is every night, brought to you by AT&T. When was the last time Tigers starters led the American League in ERA and wins? And an extra credit portion of the question, if you can name the 5 starters, we'll give you a gold star. You'll move on to the bonus round if you can name those.
Those extra credits were always a good thing.
Weren't they, though? Here's Johnny Damon. Ball one high to Damon, who bounced out back in the first.
Yeah, B.J. Upton's a true base stealer on first base, but Koch, being left-handed, should be able to slow him down. He shouldn't get a great jump off first base if Phil is paying some attention to him.
There he goes. What a bad jump. No throw.
First movement.
Wow.
All it took was one pitch from B.J. Upton to determine what he needed to do to steal that base. He's already opened up with that front foot, which means all he has to do is take that left arm, cross over, and he's off and running right now. And his first couple of steps are pretty quick steps, even though we're showing you in slow motion.
2-0 meanwhile on Johnny Damon. And he pulls this one into right field. Here comes Upton to third. They're going to stop him there. Bosch will get it back in, and the Rays now have runners at first and third. Nobody out. Tampa has its first hit of the game. It's going to set up Evan Longoria. So a couple of pretty good base runners now for Tampa. Longoria, who is really struggling at this point, 5 for his last 35. Trying to give his team the lead. Evan has missed 26 games this year with an oblique problem. Ball one, good stop there by Avila. First trouble of the game for Koch, who had retired 9 straight to start this one. Then the walk to B.J. Upton. Koch walked only 1 in that brilliant performance at Fenway Park back on the 18th. High fly ball left field, hit pretty well. Dirks will get under it at the edge of the warning track. This will score a run. Throw comes into second base. And Upton is able to trot home, sacrifice fly, RBI for Evan Longoria. And the Rays have a 1-0 lead.
If you feel Koch, don't go to sleep with Johnny Damon standing on first base. Damon has 6 steals this year. He's only been caught 1 time. You want to keep him out of scoring position, and you want to keep your options open as far as the double play if Zobrist hits something on the ground.
And Zobrist did just that. He grounded out back in the second.
Now that's how you manufacture a run, and that's exactly how the Rays play baseball. A walk, a steal. Damon gets him over. Longoria gets him in.
Joe Madden has built his team around pitching and defense this year, but the Rays have had enough offense to at least come into tonight tied for first place.
The Rays play a lot like the Los Angeles Angels out in Anaheim.
He shows bunt, pops it up, and back out of play.
It is safe to say, because Madden spent so much time around Mike Scioscia as his bench coach in Los Angeles, that when he got his first opportunity, because Los Angeles had tremendous success playing the game that way, he kind of brought a little bit of that with him down to Florida.
As you mentioned, they've had to manufacture more this year. Tampa as a team bats .241, which is toward the bottom of the American League.
But yet they're in first place.
Johnny Damon at first with 1 out, a run in. Then Zobrist the batter. And the 0-1 again showing bunt, lays it down to third, and Inge is going to pick it up and eat it. A bunt single for Ben Zobrist.
Well, Zobrist, he attempted to bunt in the pitch sequence on the pitch before that one, and he popped it straight back, but Inge did not move in. And one thing about the bunt, you take your time, you get it down, you place it perfectly, and then you run. You can't do it any better than Zobrist just did right there.
Meanwhile, Phil Koch appears to be hurt. You can see him skip a little bit right there at the end of that play.
It's the second pitcher, well, Hellickson did it as well, that we've seen slip on that mound today.
Right there. And Phil's coming out of the game.
Actually, Phil was on the grass when he turned that right ankle.
Well, for as well as he was pitching, this is a blow to the Tigers here tonight. Koch will depart, and the Tigers will have to go to the bullpen now to have someone continue in this game. Phil Koch is done. And it looks like Charlie Furbush will make his major league debut. So as the youngster comes trotting in, we'll be back with the Tigers down 1-0. Game, and that means that Charlie Furbush, the rookie, will warm up now, and he will make his major league debut. He had absolutely no time to think about it because this just happened, and Jim Leland called his number.
Well, Furbush, he almost made the team out of spring training. That's how well he pitched, and he was one of a trio looking to get that final roster spot, whether it be in the bullpen or whether it be in the starting rotation, and he didn't get it, obviously. It went to Villarreal, but he went down to the minor leagues, and all he did was he was leading the International League in strikeouts with 55 when he was recalled.
So Furbush will get an opportunity to pitch for the first time in the major leagues, and we'll get a little bit of time here to warm up now. While he warms up, let's check in with Shannon Hogan. Shannon?
Well, you know what, you guys, I wasn't surprised when I saw a few little slips out there today. It has been raining on and off, like Rod said earlier when he was driving in. At one point it's sunny, the next thing you know it's a downpour, and the grounds crew worked all afternoon to keep this field in the best condition that they could, taking that tarp on and off, and it is a huge tarp. It's actually a third of an acre, and it weighs more than 1,000 pounds when it's dry. So imagine when we have those downpours, it's at least 15 people out there trying to move that tarp. It's a pretty big feat. But they were doing the best they could, earlier today, you guys, to make sure this game did happen if the weather cooperated. And luckily, it was just a short delay there. So it turned out all right.
It did, Shannon. Thanks very much. And you're right. That is absolutely a chore to pull that thing back onto the field, especially when it's wet. But the field in great shape. I mean, Heather Namazi does a great job here with her crew as well. And there's only so much you can do sometimes with the downpours, the quick downpours that we got earlier today.
You know, one thing about Furbush in this situation, he really has never really pitched in relief. Only 3 times he's pitched in relief in the minor leagues. But this gives him an opportunity to go about his business as a starter. He's getting all the time in the world, although he's getting nervous out there with each pitch that he's throwing. But he's getting all the time that he needs to get ready to make his debut here.
What a tremendous opportunity now for Furbush, who had a 2.91 ERA down at AAA Toledo. It was a 4th-round pick of the Tigers in 07. It was one of a few guys on that Toledo staff that were really dealing right. Andrew Oliver was pitching well. Dwayne Belo was pitching well. Adam Wilk was pitching well. So Furbush got the call, and he'll get his chance here tonight.
Let's take a look at Phil Koch. It looked like he was on top of his game once again here tonight against the Tampa Bay Rays, just as he was 5 days ago against the Boston Red Sox. He was getting lots of ground balls, as he does pitch to a lot of contact. In the 1 inning, he had 3 fly ball outs. He also threw a really good slow breaking ball. He backdoored B.J. Upton with that particular pitch, but he had to leave here in the 4th inning going for a bunt. He slipped and apparently twisted that right ankle. Don't know for sure, but that looks like what he did. They didn't hesitate taking him out of here, though.
Did not at all. Kevin Rand, you see right there, the head athletic trainer, and Jim Leland quickly signaled to the bullpen. So as they tend to Phil Koch, he'll have to watch the rest of this one from the clubhouse and hope that Charlie Furbush can do the job here. The numbers on Koch right now.
You have to watch Johnny Damon. He's at second base if you're Furbush. I know you're nervous out there, but your middle infielders have to help you out. Johnny Damon also knows the situation. If you forget about him, he'll steal third base. He has stolen a lot of bases in his big league career.
Sean Rodriguez takes a hack and fouls it away. 0-1. Rodriguez 0 for 1 with a ground ball. This season 158 with runners in scoring position. Damon and Zobrist, the base runners for Tampa. They lead 1-0. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Furbush was leading the International League with 55 strikeouts when he was called up. Summoned from the bullpen with the injury to Phil Koch. That missed inside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Tall, slender fella. Just kind of slings that ball up there from the left side.
Outside, run the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. Furbush is out of South Portland, Maine. He's 25 years of age. Still lives in South Portland, Maine in the offseason.
That's a nice place to spend the summer.
Swing and a miss. 3-2.
Spent the summer up there 1 year. And when it was a AAA affiliate of the Cleveland Indians, boy, did we have a blast.
Well, he's got a jam to deal with here now with Damon at second, Zobrist at first, only 1 out. 3-2 the count. And the runners go, and there's ball 4. Avila had a look back for the home plate umpire, Sam Holbrook, and Holbrook now is hearing it as well, I think, from the Tigers dugout. Where was it? Ooh.
It looked pretty good.
Oh, my goodness, didn't it? Look at Furbush, and he's thinking, what do I need to do here to get a strike call? And Holbrook still continues to jaw with Jim Leland.
Well, Jim will have to be careful. He knows that he can't argue balls and strikes.
So they're loaded up. Here's Felipe Lopez. He tips one foul, 0-1. Lopez tonight 0 for 1. Johnny Peralta made a nice play on him earlier in the game. Pretty good numbers, though, in his career. 5 grand slams, 359 with the bases loaded. Strike called, 0-2. They're loaded up with Rays, Damon and Zobrist and Rodriguez. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Way outside. Avila has to leave the crouch to go get it. 1-2. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. Furbush gets his first big league strikeout in a huge spot.
Looked like a slider that really didn't do a whole lot. Usually when you throw your slider, you want that ball down and in, but that one just kind of spun up there and hung up in the strike zone for Lopez to hit, but he came up empty. And Furbush has him talking to himself.
So Furbush now is 1 out away from getting out of this mess with only 1 run scoring. Kelly Shopik flied to left field his first time up. And a wave and a miss, 0-1. Well, any of the major nerves that he probably had coming in had maybe subsided a bit. But he's still in the mess here to try and get out of this jam. The 2 lead runners, the property of Phil Koch, and the runner at first, Rodriguez, the property of Furbush. Vila smothers it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You can already see that Furbush favors his breaking ball. He's thrown quite a few sliders.
Charlie appeared in 5 games this spring, pitched 11 2/3 innings with the big club. Struck out 13 in 11 2/3. One and one. Shopik takes inside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
And be careful with Shopik. Do not throw him a fastball right down the middle. Even though he's hitting a .169, he has power.
Elliott Johnson waiting on deck. Shopik is the 7th man to bat in the inning. It all started with a walk and a steal by Upton, and he has scored. And a swing and a miss. 2-2.
Shopik looked like he's been in that weight room.
Looks bigger, doesn't he? Now the crowd getting behind Furbush. Two and 2 on Kelly Shopik. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Furbush comes out of the pen, strikes out a pair, and earns a big round of applause. Rays settle for 1 run. The bottom of the fourth inning, and Charlie Furbush is happy that's out of the way. First couple of big league hitters, 2 strikeouts.
Well, you can simulate all you want, telling somebody to go out there and just relax. It's the same as it was in the minor leagues, but until you get out there and you start to face big league hitters, you really don't understand the kind of pressure that goes on at this level. But Charlie Furbush did a very nice job in his debut.
And so the Rays had to settle for 1 run. Here comes the Tigers offense now in the bottom of the fourth inning. Clouds starting to move back in. We had a 27-minute rain delay at the start of this one. Meanwhile, Hellickson goes to the mound. And here's Brennan Bosch to lead it off. He swings in the first and pops it up. Heading back to the seats, though.
Hellickson had a lengthy sit down while Furbush was taking his warm-up tosses after Phil Koch departed. Maybe that will allow the Tigers to get loose here against him.
I was thinking the same thing. It was a long inning even without the injury and the extra time.
And also the numbers second time through the batting order against Hellickson are very, very good. 313 for the opposition.
1 ball, 1 strike. Bosch tonight with a fly ball to center.
Yeah, Brennan needs to get it going again. Got off to a really nice start this year. He has slowed down lately, but still getting an opportunity to play every single day for the most part.
1-2.
There's that changeup that we've talked about here tonight at length that Hellickson features. He will throw it inside, at the knees, and outside to both left-handers and right-handers.
Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes on Bosch.
It's amazing how some young kids can just master a changeup, and then you have some other kids, some other pitchers that just can't really throw one effectively to save their lives.
Two and two. Swing and a miss. Down he goes.
He threw Brennan Bosch 3 changeups in a row. 3 straight changeups.
You think it's difficult to master because it's a touch and feel pitch?
Well, I think it's tough to do because most of these guys, Mario, that are playing at this level, they were pretty much dominant in high school, dominant in college. And sometimes you don't need that changeup to be effective at that level. But
right.
Once you get up here, you have to sort of get a feel for that pitch, and sometimes it's difficult for kids to master.
High fly ball to center off the bat of Cabrera. Easy play for B.J. Upton. 2 outs. And that'll bring in Victor Martinez. So Martinez, who flied out his first time up, will stand in with 2 outs. Hellickson gave up a walk and a single in the third, but the Tigers failed to score. Victor right now at 299 with 23 RBIs. Fouled away 0-1. And Hellickson showing no signs of getting rusty after that long sit down between innings. Just 24 years old, out of Des Moines. In fact, he was the Rays minor league pitcher of the year each of the last 2 seasons.
He was ready for the big leagues. That's why they traded Garza. Hellickson kind of forced his way onto the staff.
And so far what they've said about him is absolutely true. Very rarely does he change the look on his face. A very calm demeanor for a young kid. Great changeup. Here's his 0-1 pitch. Missed it high. 1-1. The only Tigers hit a single by Jackson back in the third. Hellickson has handcuffed them. In fact, he retired the first 7 straight that he faced. Two balls, 1 strike. Ellickson made his road debut last year right here at Comerica Park, and in that game he threw 7 shutout innings with 7 strikeouts. So the Tigers have seen his act before, and it was impressive last year. The 2-1. Floating, bending, breaking ball that falls in 2-2.
This guy's pitchability is pretty good for a young kid.
Driven to right field on a line. Zobrist comes on to make the basket catch, and the Tigers go 1-2-3. 4 in the books. Still 1-0 Tampa. Led the American League in ERA and wins. I'll give you extra credit if you can name all 5 starters, or the 5 main starters. And it was 2006 with a 4 ERA and 75 wins not too long ago. Bonderman, Rogers, Robertson, Verlander, and Zach Miner.
And the only mainstay, J.V.
He's still here.
He's a keeper.
There's Verlander. Justin again was good in his last start, and Verlander will go tomorrow night against Wade Davis.
How about Ricky P yesterday, though?
Oh.
Lights out.
Here's Johnson. Next to the Verlander no-hitter, that's probably the most dominant a Tiger starter has been this year, don't you think?
I was thinking about this last night. I thought about it again today. Porcello was 1 pitch away from making that decision for Jim Leyland in yesterday's game.
There's a base hit to left for Johnson.
Very easy to send him back out there for that 9th inning, because he was that close, in my opinion, to throwing a no-hitter.
Yeah, the Cedeno double, the only hit he gave up. And then the skipper had no choice.
But this is how much fun guys have down there in the dugout, and Porcello made light of that situation. Sure, he wanted to go back out and finish the game, but Jim chose to go to Valverde. Valverde's his closer, and he has the right to do so. Porcello said the thing that he was upset about, and obviously joking, he said, "I'm surprised he pinch hit for me. I was 1 for 3."
And the 1 hit went about 4 feet.
And Lloyd McClendon told me that story today. He said he was upset he got pinch hit for.
Well,
he could care less about pitching.
And just enough offense for Porcello yesterday. They got him a couple of runs. Furbush back home, and a show of bunt. 0-1 on Sam Fold. 1-0 Tampa. They got a run in the 4th inning and a sac fly by Evan Longoria. Phil Koch had to leave with an injury. Still waiting on the word on the injury to Phil Koch. So Furbush came on, took over, and walked the first man he faced to load the bases. And he got a couple of strikeouts. It's bunted back to the mound. And, just out at first base by a half a step. Move the runner up.
Hey fans, don't miss your chance to see the Tigers play the Red Sox this Thursday through Sunday. Boston's only visit to Comerica Park this season. Tickets are available now at 866-66-TIGER or online at tigers.com.
Red Sox are coming. They've turned the ship around as we expected them to. Check out that sky. That looks like a photograph. Here's B.J. Upton. Runner goes to third. Huge jump. The throw. The tag. Got him! What a play by Inge down there, and what a throw by Avila. I didn't think he had a shot.
He didn't get a very good jump off of second base. This Rays team, they're very, very aggressive on the base pass. He goes from a standstill position. It doesn't have great speed. Avila has a very good and accurate throwing arm and a very nice tag applied by Brandon Inge as he was losing his footing. It's a great look right there.
Well, he was from a standstill, wasn't he? There was no momentum toward third. So Avila helps out the youngster Furbush. Upton moves his feet and gets out of the box. 1 ball, 1 strike. Avila, after a slow start in throwing runners out, has now caught 10 this year. He came in at 28%. There you go. Now he's 29.
He's getting close to his numbers from last year. He threw out about 31%, which was good for second in the American League.
Here's the 1-2. 2-2 on Upton.
And take a look at Avila, ever so slightly shifting his weight in that direction because he saw that the runner was taking off from second. That allowed him to take very little time from the exchange to the throwing hand to make that strong throw to third base.
Two on Upton. Well, sometimes, Rod, it does amaze me that catchers, with all the concentration they need on framing the pitch and catching the pitch, can also see the runner going with the peripheral vision. And there is strike 3 called, and Avila did it beautifully, shifting his body, throwing him out, and Upton strikes out.
Look out, Furbush.
3 strikeouts, Charlie. To play tonight, Cleveland a 7-game lead over the second-place Tigers. Kansas City now 2 under the 500 mark after a pretty good start. And don't look now, but here comes Chicago a little bit. They're playing a little bit better.
Chicago's won 11 of their last 15 under their skipper, Ozzie Guillen. But as many of us thought, it's going to be a very, very close race in this division when it's all said and done. At least I believe that.
I agree with you. I think most do. You know, Cleveland's been impressive in the way they've been able to play, but we'll see how they respond in the dog days. Andy Dirks will be leading things off here in the bottom of the 5th. It's 1-0 Tampa Bay, game 1 in this 3-game series. Dirks 0 for 1, a bounce out his first time up against Hellickson. And he lifts this one back out of play 0-1.
A lot of similarities between that Cleveland Indians team and the Tampa Rays in 2008. Got off to a good start. They were leading the American League East. Everyone kept saying the Yankees in Boston were going to catch them. They never caught them. And of course, Tampa went into the postseason that year.
There's a strike called. I think everybody thought Tampa would be caught. And they really won some key games down the stretch.
They get it done with their farm system. And they know they can't compete with the Yankees and Boston Red Sox as far as free agents are concerned. And so they have to make sure that their scouting department's very, very good. They have to develop players. And that's pretty much what they've done.
Especially in the pitching department. And Hellickson just another example of that. The other thing the starting pitching has done for them this year, it's just taken some heat off of that bullpen. They think they had to retool. And they lost a lot of key pieces. Closer, setup man. The 2-2 pitch. Fouled away. Got some word on Phil Koch. It's a right ankle injury. He's currently being evaluated. They'll have more information available to us when they get it. So right now they're just calling a right ankle injury. Fill you in if we get more info. And the 2-2. Driven high in the air down the right field line. That ball is hooking. It's going to stay fair, and it's gone. Andy Dirks' first big league homer. And it ties the game.
Hellickson has thrown so many change-ups today, and you can see the ball in his glove, that someone finally went up there and looked for one and got it. That ball was at the bottom of the strike zone. Most left-handers love the ball down and in, and Dirks plays long ball here tonight against the talented right-hander Jeremy Hellickson. It's kind of gotten to a point, partner, where he's thrown so many of those change-ups the last couple of innings that someone was bound to go up there and sit on it and get it and not miss it.
And someone was Andy Dirks, his first home run to tie the game at 1. Johnny Peralta, the batter. Second RBI as well in the big leagues for Dirks. A purple sky here at the ballpark tonight. The 1-1. Breaking ball drops in, 1-2 on Peralta. There's a bouncer that goes foul. 1-2 the count remains. Peralta struck out back in the 3rd. The Dirks home run has put the Tigers on the board. Rolled foul again. Hellickson retired the first 7 Tigers he faced, and then Avila walked in the 3rd. Tigers, however, could not get on the board until the Dirks homer starts off this inning. Swing and a miss, and he strikes him out again.
Well, you can understand why Hellickson had fallen in love with his changeup tonight here against the Tigers. Take a look at this pitch. It's like that Bugs Bunny changeup. If you were a fan of cartoons if you're my age, I mean, you can really not get to it. And, of course, the one that he threw that Dirks was looking for and sitting on, he was able to connect.
Only 5 home runs allowed this year by Hellickson. That was his first homer allowed in 4 starts. Michael Kadire got him back on April 28th. So it had been a while since he had given up a long ball. Avila walked, did not score back in the 3rd.
He pretty much walked Avila by design his last time up, not wanting to mess with Avila, the left-handed batter. A couple of right-handers behind Avila.
Looping breaking ball misses outside.
Might just walk him again.
After he walked Avila in the 3rd, he did get Inge to pop up. Then Jackson singled, but a ground ball got him out of the inning. Here's the 2-0. 3 balls and no strikes. Look like you're right. Avila's about to get his 2nd walk. Inge waiting on deck. Alex this year has hit 6 home runs. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Way outside, ball 4.
Wanted nothing to do with Avila. Hey fans, when the game ends, our coverage continues with Tigers Live as we bring you all the highlights, reaction, and analysis. Tigers Live from the Call Sam Studios and here at the ballpark immediately after the game on Fox Sports Detroit. That's smart pitching, though. It really is.
Well, the numbers indicate that. And we'll see if he can pitch around it again here in the 5th inning. Inge popped up his first time.
And Jim might put a runner in motion if he gets a count that's favorable to do so. And, of course, he'll be asking Brandon to swing if he puts Avila in motion.
Runner goes. And it's in the air to shallow center. Avila's going to have to hurry to get back. Upton firing it back to first base, and he'll get the double play.
Oh, he's got a hose in center field. You ought to have a license to carry that gun. Oh, BJ.
Anyway, the Tigers get a run. The home run by Dirks. Tigers baseball brought to you by Bell Tire.
run, which this is, you have to take about 3 or 4 steps. You have to look in, and if you look in, you can locate that ball. I think Avila located it too late. And B.J. Upton has a tremendous throwing arm from center field. He threw him out by about 5 feet. That is now the 38th assist from the outfield since the beginning of the 2007 season for B.J. Upton, and that leads all center fielders in the American League.
Well, a big double play there ends the inning, and so the Tigers settle for 1, but they've tied it up now as we go to the 6th. And Johnny Damon leads it off against Charlie Furbush, who has picked up 3 strikeouts in his relief effort tonight of Phil Koch, who injured himself a couple of innings ago. And the first pitch is in for a strike on Damon. Here's the 0-1. 0-2 on Damon, a single and a ground ball in this game. Johnny's been on base now in 19 consecutive games for the Rays. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Stays alive.
Johnny playing like he's young again.
Well, he's from Florida, from Orlando, not too far from St. Petersburg. So it's in some ways back home for him. And again, the 0-2. 1-2 on Damon.
You don't want to hang that slider to Damon. He can play long ball if you hang it. He's already hit 7 home runs this year. If you're Furbush and you want to throw that slider, you got to bury that pitch down and away. You almost have to bounce it.
Down the left field line, foul.
Not a bad fastball. That last one at 91.
Well, we've talked oftentimes this year about the arms the Tigers have had in the minor leagues. Of course, Jacob Turner's at AA, and the rest of the arms we talked about at the AAA level that have been impressive. And we're getting our first look at Charlie Furbush here at this level tonight.
Tigers are not going to have to worry about pitching for a long time. They've got some really good young arms in the minor leagues, and they got some good arms in the big leagues too.
Here's the 2-2. Slice toward left on the charge. Dirks coming hard. Diving. Can't get it. Damon on his way to second. Pulls in with a double.
It's a great effort by Dirks in left field. I don't know if he got fooled momentarily by the swing of Damon and didn't get a great break on that ball, but it was a tremendous effort to try to get there and make a diving catch. And good hustle by Damon getting to second base.
So it's a leadoff double here in the 6th. 6th double of the year for Johnny Damon. Go ahead run is aboard. Fourth hit of the game for Tampa. The Tigers have but 2 hits. Longoria had a sacrifice fly getting the Tampa Bay run in back in the 4th. He's knocked in 9 this year. Way outside, and Avila did a pirouette. 1-0. Longoria's had a tough night at the plate, and a tough season at the plate, I should say. So 5 for his last 35. He looks at a strike, and this is a guy that in his last 3 years has averaged 40 doubles, 27 homers, and over 100 RBIs a year.
I don't know what it is this year, but there's quite a few really good players in the big leagues this year that have been all-stars, guys that have really accomplished a lot from an offensive standpoint, struggling in 2011.
Outside, 2-1. Well, since 08, these two, Cabrera and Longoria, have been at the top of the extra base hit list. Cano, Youkilis, and Ortiz also on that list. And the 2-1. Popped him up. Shallow center field. Jackson eyeballing it. And the runner holds. Well, we have a chance. Back to the studio we go. Game break time. Here's Mickey York. All right, Mickey, thank you. Well, that's a huge addition to that Texas lineup.
Yes, Texas in first place. When play began today, they had a half a game lead over the Los Angeles Angels. And they've done a lot of that without Hamilton and Nelson Cruz.
Yeah, and they just got Feliz back, their closer. So I guess they're starting to take shape now. 0-1 on Zobrist. Infield single, a bunt single for Zobrist back in the fourth. Hinge on high alert. He bunted down the third base line his last time up. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Zobrist chasing 0-2. Furbush came on in the fourth inning, walked the first man he faced. That loaded the bases, but then he struck out Lopez and Chapin. He has struck out 3 in this game. Checked it. Low and inside. 1-2. This Tampa team began the season 0-6 and then eventually 1-8, and it's been quite a turnaround for them to get back into first place in the Central, or the East, I should say. Battling the likes of the Red Sox and Yankees. The 1-2 is a bouncing ball to third base. Hinge holding the runner. Zobrist is out. And so Damon stays planted at second with 2 gone now. Bring up Sean Rodriguez. Walking a ground out tonight for Rodriguez. Strike on the outer edge, 0-1. He's not really a big guy, but when he was in the minor leagues with the Angels, he had a lot of home runs, and he was the last guy named in that Kazmir deal.
Joe Madden knew all about him. And a lot of people in baseball didn't know about Rodriguez, but because Madden spent some time in that Angels organization, he was the guy that they wanted, and he believes he's going to hit up here.
Ground ball left side, and Johnny scoops it up. Furbush gives up a leadoff double, but no damage done. They strand a man. We go to the bottom of the 6th.
front of Sizemore. He bare hands the ball in the palm of his hand, transfers to the fingertips, and flips it over to Cabrera to get the out. Coors Light Freeze Cam always brought to you by your Frost Brewed Coors Light.
So we're still tied at 1. Some defensive changes now for the Tampa Bay Rays. The former Tiger Matt Joyce will take over in right field. Ben Zobrist, meanwhile, will move from right to second base. And the new shortstop is Rodriguez, who moves from second to short. Johnson out of the game. First pitch is popped up. Shallow right field. Zobrist going back. And Jackson is out.
A couple of years ago when Matt Joyce was traded from the Tigers to Tampa, there's no way that Joe Madden would have put him in the outfield as a defensive replacement, but he went to Durham and has spent some time there the last couple of years, and Madden says his defense has improved dramatically. There's never really been a question of whether Matt could hit, but his defense has gotten a lot better.
Sizemore looks at a ball inside. Well, Joyce is hitting .355 to lead the league. I'm not sure they expected him to hit that well, but he did show some power here in Detroit. Sizemore is 0 for 2. And it's 1-1 now on Scott. He's 0 for 2 with a fly ball and a ground out. Here's the 1-1. We're being told that Elliott Johnson hurt himself attempting to steal third base in the 5th inning, so that's why he has come out of the game. Here's the 2-1. In the air to right field. Joyce will get an opportunity. 2 gone. Time now for the Farmers Insurance report card tonight. Rays defense this season has been really, really good. In fact, 19 errors and a .989 fielding percentage, the best in the American League. They have not gone a single game in which they've had multiple errors.
That's an amazing statistic. They have not made 2 errors in a game as a team this year.
47 games in. Popped up behind the plate. Shopik out of room.
To give you an idea of really how impressive that really is, there have been 29 players this year in the major leagues. 29 players, individual players, that have committed 2 or more errors in a single game.
Wow. I mean, that type of defense is kind of reminiscent of the type of defense the Twins would play. 0-1 on Bosch. Rifle to right field. Base hit, maybe more. Joyce goes over there to cut it off. Bosch motoring to second. Throw is not in time.
Doubles are made out of that batter's box. Brennan Bosch hits a clothesline down in that right field corner. Matt Joyce takes very little time getting to it, but Brennan Bosch was thinking 2 out of that batter's box, and he was not going to stop. For a big guy, he's got some speed.
And he's put himself in a scoring position now. Tigers can take their first lead of the game here. And Cabrera's up there. He bats .457 with men in scoring position. And he lines one to right field, base hit. Here comes Bosch. They'll try and score him. Joyce's throw to the plate is a one-hopper, and he is saved.
Great slide, Brennan.
He avoids the tag of Shopik.
You talked about the damage Cabrera does in these situations. Runners in scoring position close to 500. He takes the ball the opposite way. Brennan Bosch running hard with 2 outs. He wasn't stopped by Lamont. Joyce makes a very good throw to home plate, but a wonderful slide by Brennan Bosch to get around the tag of Shopik.
What a job by Bosch, and the Tigers have their first lead of the game. He hustles for a 2-out double and then was busting it around the bag at third base and scores on the Cabrera hit.
Looks like Miggy's found that stroke again after opening up a little bit in that stance, driving the ball back to right field with authority.
Now Martinez trying to get him in. Victor takes ball one. Fourth hit of the game for the Tigers.
You know what, Mario, that situation right there, 2 outs, runner on second base, base open. There's no doubt in my mind, had Victor Martinez not been batting behind Cabrera, he gets a free pass to first.
Absolutely, I think you're right. Yeah, there's no question in that situation. Instead, Cabrera picks up a huge RBI. 1-0 on Victor. Just off the plate, 2-0. Tigers 2 runs, 4 hits. The Rays 1 run, 4 hits. And now with a 2-0 count, first base open, they're not going to mess with it. Andy Dirks is waiting on deck, and he homered in his last at bat. So they'll finish off Martinez here with an intentional walk. And that'll put 2 aboard now with 2 outs. Third walk of the game, one of them intentional for Hellickson. It's gone as high as 94 miles an hour. Make that 3 walks, 1 intentional. And we'll get a chat on the mound now, as Dirks is getting ready to step in. By the way, you can follow the Tigers with the MLB.com at Bat 11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or your BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and a whole lot more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit Tigers.com if you'd like more details. Martinez yelling some instructions to Cabrera.
Emphatically.
And so the Tigers have 2 on now. Here's Dirks. See if the Tigers can find some breathing room here in the 6th. Ball 1. Sliced foul out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tigers through the first 4 innings had only 1 hit. Then Dirks homer to start the 5th. Then a 2-out double here by Bosch ignited this rally. Martinez at first, Cabrera at second. There goes Cabrera to third. They'll step off and throw him out. Wow. That was not good. So Cabrera is thrown out at third base. Hellickson just simply stepped off. Didn't panic. Cabrera's an easy out.
pretty good about the game he pitched yesterday, having a no-hitter going into the 6th. Then he had a hit yesterday. Now, for a pitcher, that's a pretty big deal. He actually said it's something that they talk about in spring training here with the Tigers when they're down in Florida. And he said they start taking bets. Who's going to have the most hits of the pitchers? Who's going to be the most successful? He said Justin Verlander talks a big game, but so far he's not delivering. And of all the guys, he said he would put money on Brad Penny. He thinks he's actually has the best bat of all the pitchers. But not a bad game for Rick, both at bat and pitching, of course, yesterday. Mario and Rod?
That's right, Shannon. We'll definitely take what Porcello gave yesterday. That hit was not the most impressive thing, but you know what? It's a hit. And that's all that counts. And you see a lot of those Tigers pitchers holding those bats these days. That's line to Dirksen left, who goes back a couple of steps. And Lopez is out. Look at Scherzer thinking about his next AB in the next round of interleague play.
Yes, he is. I would imagine Brad Penny probably the best hitter down there amongst most of the Tigers starters. He's had the most time in the National League.
Yeah, the most at bats, that's for sure. Meanwhile, Furbush quietly has kept Tampa off the scoreboard here. It's 2-1 Detroit now. They've taken their first lead. Kelly Shopik will stand in. And he looks at one right down the middle. Shopik 0 for 2, strikeout, flyout.
Furbush is 10 of 12 in first pitch strikes since coming into this ball game. That's a good remedy for success. It allows you to expand the strike zone and get to your secondary pitches. No longer do you really have to throw strikes. Like right now, you can waste a couple of pitches to Kelly Shopik and see if he'll chase something for strike 3.
0-2 on Shopik. And Joyce on deck. Tigers nursing a 1-run lead.
That might have been too close on an 0-2 offering. We'll take one more look at the 0-2 pitch.
Oh, he hit him.
Yeah.
0-2 and he hit him.
Let's take a look at our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. Phil Koch had to leave this game in the 4th inning. He had some kind of issue with his ankle, but Furbush was pressing the duty. He got as much time as he needed to warm up. He's had a few strikeouts in this game. Most of the strikeouts have come with that real good slide piece that he has. And he's also made a nice play on a bunt. I guess you could say that he's been as good as advertised. He had 55 strikeouts in the International League before getting called up, which was good for the top spot in the IL.
Joyce gets his first at bat after taking over defensively, leading the league in hitting coming into play at .355, and he does some damage as well against his former mates.
Struggling against left-handed pitchers, however, this year is Matt Joyce.
Only 1 home run against lefties and only a .158 against lefties. Fouled away, 1-1.
You really don't quite know what you have until you give a guy 4 or 5 bats every single day. This is really the first time that Matt Joyce has been a starter in the big leagues. It took Manny Ramirez retiring to get Joyce some consistent reps in the outfield.
Elliott Johnson left knee soreness. That's why he was taken out. Joyce came in last inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. And he shows bunt again, 1-2. The splits on Joyce are quite telling. .385 against righties. And only 158 against lefties with a couple of RBIs. High fly ball center field. Routine for Jackson. 2 gone. By the way, you can vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game, presented tonight by the Big Mac. Using your cell phone, text Tigers, followed by a space, and then the player's uniform number. Text it to 37338, or you can vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. The final results coming up on Tigers Live. Check your text replies for special offers from McDonald's.
Furbush has got a really good shot at eating that Big Mac tonight.
Yes, he does.
He could use a little extra meal money.
Here's a drive to center field. Here comes Jackson again. And that is that for Tampa Bay. No runs, a hit batter, 1 left. Stretch time in the Motor City. Nice job tonight. Tigers have a 2-1 lead as we go now to the bottom of the 7th. And we'll see if they can get some more offense going. We have a defensive change. Casey Kochman is the new first baseman now for Tampa Bay. Meanwhile, for the Tigers here in the 7th, it'll be Dirks, Peralta, and Avila. And he was at the plate when Cabrera broke off second base and was thrown out at third, ending the last inning. 1 ball, no strikes on Dirks. First of 3 between these two teams, and it's been an entertaining game so far tonight. Here's the 1-0. The last word we had on Phil Koch was an ankle injury, nothing more definitive or further. That's why he had to leave. And Furbush came in, did a nice job. And it also looks like Joaquin Benoit is going to come in to pitch the 8th inning. So, as we told you in Pittsburgh, he was reinserted into that 8th inning spot.
Well, maybe that's what Joaquin Benoit needs, to go up against his former team and to light a fire underneath him and go out and get the job done in the 8th. Now, that's what they brought him here for.
2-2 on Dirks.
I will say this much. The Tampa Bay people, they were shocked. I mean, absolutely shocked at some of the numbers that Benoit has posted so far this year, because he was sensational for them last year.
And the 2-2. Inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Dirks.
Well, He threw Dirk the changeup last time Dirks was up, and Dirks hit it out for a solo shot, his first career home run. But this young man has such tremendous confidence in his changeup, he might throw it again.
Fouled away.
That was a heater at 91 miles an hour.
It's also his 90th pitch of the night. Here's the 3-2. And he popped him up. Shallow left field. And Rodriguez will give way to Sam Full. One gone. How about your Comerica game summary tonight? Tigers on top by a run. Phil Koch had to leave with an ankle injury in the 4th inning. Dirks hit his first big league homer, and Charlie Furbush, man of the hour tonight. 3 2/3 scoreless baseball. Here's Johnny Peralta. Not a whole lot of luck tonight against Hellickson. 2 strikeouts. Whistles one foul, 0-1. Johnny at 291 right now. Make it 0-2, so Johnny once again is in the hole here against Hellickson. Hellickson last year won 12 games at Durham, was 12-3, and then won 4 games at the major league level. And is off to a fine start. Was trying to win his 5th consecutive game here tonight. Off the end of the bat, it'll go foul. No Rays rookie has ever won 5 straight. And Hellickson right now will need some help from his offense if he wants to do that tonight. On a night where Hellickson pitches, it's usually a bonanza for the offense. They give him about almost 9 runs a game of support, or have this year, but not tonight. A little bit high. Looked like Holbrook thought about it, but it missed. J.P. Howell tuning up in the Rays pen. Two and two. It's popped up. Foul behind the plate. Out of play.
Them folks sitting right there, they had about 3 pop flies in their area.
He got held onto his pizza. Hey, don't forget tomorrow. Airtime 6:30 again with Tigers Live, and the upcoming pitching matchup presented by the Michigan Office of Highway Safety. Wade Davis, Justin Verlander.
And Verlander is must-see TV these days. Or you can come down to the ballpark, whichever you choose to do.
3 and 2.
But he is pitching some of the best baseball that I've ever seen him pitch.
Three-two pitch. Breaking ball is hammered foul.
And Johnny couldn't hold back long enough. He saw that hanging breaking ball, and he got out in front, and then he reloaded, and then he still couldn't stay back.
Now time called, and there goes Shopik out to the mound. They certainly don't want to make a mistake to Peralta because he can hit one out of the yard. He's hit 7 this year. Tigers have a home run tonight. The Andy Dirks home run, his first major league homer in the 5th. And Cabrera had an RBI hit in the 6th, giving the Tigers the lead. And he walked him. So Peralta goes from 0-2 to 3-2, and then he earns the walk. 4 walks, one of them intentional for Hellickson tonight, and Joe Madden said, let's go to the bullpen. So as they make a change, we'll step aside. Tigers up 2-1. Park. The Tigers are holding on to a 2-1 lead, looking for some more here in the bottom of the 7th. And J.P. Howell will come in now, and just his 2nd appearance of the season. And we look at Howell's numbers. These are career numbers for J.P. Howell.
167 games, comes in 18-20, earned run average a shade under 4.5 for J.P. Howell.
Shoulder surgery last year. He missed the entire season, was non-tendered, and then signed with the Rays later in the offseason. So he's ready to go to work. And Alex Avila will face him. Alex has walked twice tonight, but those at-bats against the starter Hellickson. Check swing, low and away, 1-0. Peralta, the base on ball. Hellickson out of the game.
And Hellickson in jeopardy of getting his first road loss of his career.
There's a strike 1-1. Well, it didn't come easy tonight, that's for sure. Against Hellickson. The Dirks homer, and then Bosch hustled himself into a 2-out double in the 6th and scored on the Cabrera hit. That's been it. Howell's 1-1. Strike called. 1-2 on Avila.
And J.P. Howell became the first Rays in history to wear number 74, switching from number 39. It's a tribute to Guy Dubetz, who had been his pitching coach since the age of 11 years old.
It's a nice gesture.
And Dubetz passed away on Mother's Day this year, and Carmel, California, to diabetes.
Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ball towards short, ranging to his right. Rodriguez to second one. Relay is a double play. 6-4-3 to end the inning. You're watching Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Bell Tire. Now, and Benoit talks about his recent struggles, was in the role, was out of the role, and now he's getting back on track.
I don't know. One day I wasn't, and the next day I am. But it's more, I think it's more confidence and go back and do the easier stuff to just take pitch by pitch and go about my business. Right now, I think it was just confidence or bad mechanics. Now I think I figured something out. Now let's see what happens.
Well, obviously a couple of things that they have discovered in Benoit's delivery the last couple of weeks. One, his release point was too high, which meant he was not getting the ball out in front, which means it's impossible to get down, and that's why you see the lofty numbers at 7.47 as far as the earned run average, and the opponents are hitting 328 against him. And also they want him to get to a real nice balance spot with that front leg, which allows the arm to catch up. So just a couple of really minor things for Benoit.
So Benoit is on now to face B.J. Upton, Johnny Damon, and Evan Longoria, the top three hitters in Tampa Bay's lineup.
His health is fine. He is still 94 to 96 with his fastball, but the location just hasn't been there.
Well, when guys are so dominant and all of a sudden they run into a real big rough patch, that's kind of one of the first things that creeps into your mind. Is the guy healthy? But as you mentioned, his stuff was always there. He just wasn't hitting the spots.
And then after you figure out that it's not the health issues, then it becomes a confidence thing. And I think for a moment there, Benoit kind of lost his confidence.
A little bit outside. 2-1 on Upton.
Well, you don't want to walk with BJ. And because a lot of times walks become doubles with his speed.
Walk, a steal, and a run scored tonight for Upton. Otherwise, a couple of strikeouts. .94 on that fastball. 2-2.
Good fastball, top of the strike zone, mid-90s.
Fouled away. 2-2 the count stays on B.J. Upton. Each side with 4 hits. Very well pitched on both ends. Talking about Upton and keeping him off the bases. 3 straight years of 40 or more steals. And he's trying to reach here as the tying run. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out in a half-hearted swing by Upton. First strikeout for Benoit.
All fastballs to BJ. The last one at 95 at the knees on the black. Nothing really BJ could do with this pitch, but kind of flail at it.
1 out. Now Johnny Damon. So Upton has struck out 3 times tonight.
A clean inning here by Joaquin will do a lot for his confidence.
Strike 1.
Has yet to throw a changeup. For the most part, he's just a 2-pitch pitcher. Great fastball and a really good changeup. Obviously, the numbers don't indicate that, but look at the back of his bubblegum card. He's done it.
In the air toward left. Dirks is there. 2 gone.
Hey, Tigers fans, it's easier than ever to find the seats you want or to sell the tickets to the games you can't make. On StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Detroit Tigers. Go to StubHub.com and choose your seats today.
So with 2 outs, Benoit now is an out away from that clean 8th inning. It'll be Evan Longoria. Longoria tonight with a sacrifice fly, 0 for 2 otherwise. Ball 1. Benoit 95 miles an hour with that last pitch. Boston tonight is leading Cleveland 2-1. They're in the top of the 7th. The Tigers came in 7 back in the Central. One and one.
There's that changeup.
Longoria takes a strike call. 2-2.
What was this pitch by Benoit at 83 miles an hour? A little breaking ball.
Yeah.
You don't see that very often.
Longoria could not pull the trigger. So now it's 2-2. And he just missed. Full count, 3-2. Benoit replacing Furbush, who did some yeoman's work tonight in his big league debut. The 3-2. Fouled straight back. He had a rip. Furbush did a great job in relief of Phil Koch. 3 2/3 innings of work. And Benoit trying to continue Tigers' outstanding pitching tonight. And the 3-2. He walked him. Longoria will reach base. The tying run is on with 2 outs.
Here's Benoit's numbers from last year. And one of the things that Joe Madden was challenged to do this year, the Tampa manager, was somehow find these numbers along with the closer, Soriano, who saved 45 games. And so far, so good for that Tampa bullpen. But they've been aided by their starters, who pretty much go 7 innings every night.
Here's Zobrist, and he takes ball 1. He didn't go. Zobrist 1 for 3, had a base hit. It was a bunt single back in the 4th inning. Tiger pitching tonight has limited the Rays to just 4 hits, but likewise, the Tigers have only 4 hits. Ball high, 2-0. A nail biter tonight for the skipper. Here's the 2-0 pitch. High fly ball left field. Should end the inning. Dirks is under it. And Benoit throws a scoreless 8. Here come the Tigers leading by a run. Go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and it's still 2-1 in favor of Detroit. And boy, has this been a streaky Tigers team this year.
Well, they hope they get it together and start to, play a little bit where they don't go into these kinds of streaks where you lose 7, you win 7, and then all of a sudden you lose 5 before you win your next one.
Well, here comes Inge to start the bottom of the 8th. Tigers lead it by a run. J.P. Howell is back out there. And Brandon looks at ball 1 to start things off. 0 for 2 for Inge. Howell's 1-0 pitch. Low, 2 balls, no strikes. Good off-speed pitch and way out in front, 2-1. Howell began his career in the Kansas City system, broke into the big leagues in 05. Really didn't have a whole lot of time in the minor leagues. He was a first-round pick of the Royals back in 04, and eventually they traded him to Tampa in a deal that involved Joey Gathright. Swing and a miss, 3-2.
Is it just me, or is there a lot of guys with lots of facial hair this year? The long beard seems to be coming back.
We're seeing more of it. You think that's the new trend?
Apparently so.
Full beards. And he missed, and Inge is on with the leadoff walk. Look at Dave Martinez.
Man, oh man, how do you grow that much facial hair?
And it's perfectly manicured as well.
I wonder how long that's taken him. Well, he was motioning to his third baseman Longoria about a possible bunt here by Jackson. It's in order, but that doesn't mean Jim will do it with the left-hander on the mound.
Jackson 1 for 3. Austin wouldn't tip there.
No, he didn't.
4 sacrifices this year. No sign of a sacrifice, and a strike called. 0-1. Gene Lamont running through a series of signs. Tigers, as a matter of fact, lead the American League with 19 sack bunts. And now he lays one down, third base side. Longoria gloves and throws him out.
Looked like Jackson was bunting more for a base hit there than a sacrifice bunt, but he'll probably be given a sacrifice. Longoria has already made and won a couple of gold gloves down at third base. He's a terrific defender.
So put the runner at second now with 1 out. Here's Sizemore. He's 0 for 3. Strike 1.
You don't really have to worry about the inside pitch from Howell. He will go in there on occasion, but he will not go in there that often. He usually goes in there to set up the very good changeup that sort of acts like a screwball away from the right-handed batters. But that's his best pitch.
It bounces in. One ball and 1 strike. Rolled foul. 1-2 now on Sizemore. The 4 Tigers hits tonight. Jackson a single, the homer by Dirks, double by Bosch, single by Cabrera. Neither team able to really sustain a big inning. And it's 2-1 Detroit here in the 8th. And the 1-2. Bouncing ball left side. Longoria kicks it to second base. Everybody is safe.
That was odd.
You ever seen that before? I haven't.
Very odd. It looks like he's got a pretty good beat on it. Gets a pretty good jump on a couple of steps. Looks like he's going to make the play after diving, but he gets down, then he kicks the ball with the left knee all the way to second base.
It's an infield hit. 5 Tigers hits. That'll bring up Brendan Bosch. Some really good soccer skills there from Longoria. Bosch takes low and away. J.P. Howell took over for Hellickson, the starter in the 7th. He got a double play ball to end that inning. But he walked the leadoff man here in the 8th.
Not bad numbers for Brennan against left-handers.
This is something we learned about him last year, his ability to hit left-handed pitching, and he's just continued that this year. Much better average than against righties. Fouled away.
Got a hanging breaking ball right there. Hanging right over the heart of the plate.
Sizemore at first base, Inge down at second. 2 on for the Tigers here in the 8th, trying to get a few more here. They lead 2-1. Swing and a miss, and down he goes. The first strikeout for Howell. So Joe Madden coming out, and Juan Cruz has been warming up. He'll get the baseball now, and he'll try and get Cabrera with 2 outs. We'll be back. Another pitching change at Comerica. Of Emily Hetrick. Emily is a member of our crew here at Fox Sports Detroit. She lost her grandfather, Lee Hetrick. He passed away last Thursday at the age of 90. He was a tremendous Tigers fan. And Emily, to you and your entire family, our condolences for the loss of your grandfather, Lee Hetrick, who was a really, really big Detroit Tigers fan. Well, we have a pitching change here, and Juan Cruz will take over now, and he's going to have to face Cabrera with 2 men on.
Well, he's not a real big guy in stature, but he's got an electric arm, and he's got a pretty good slider to go along with that fastball. But he will be going up against one of your more dangerous right-handed hitters in the game of baseball, and that would be Miguel Cabrera. You can see his numbers. They are really good. But he has walked 13 and 17 in the 3rd innings. That's a lot.
Well, we'll see how he wants to attack Mr. Cabrera. Miguel tonight 1 for 3, had an RBI single back in the 6th inning, and that put the Tigers ahead 2-1. And they continue at this point to lead by that score, maybe more here. Tigers have 5 hits, only 4 for the Rays. And ball, no, strike one. Let's see what Foxtrack says. Close enough. Juan Cruz, 32 years old, out of the Dominican Republic. Here's the 0-1. Foul away, 0-2. Cruz, the last 2 years pitching in Kansas City. Trying to get Cabrera here. With 2 men on, 2 men out. Cruz also time with Arizona, the Cubs, Atlanta, and Oakland. Well traveled. One ball, 2 strikes. One and 2. Cabrera 31 RBIs. And he shoots one toward right field. Joyce on the run. Won't get there, but it's foul. That would have played it 2. 1 and 2 to count. So Cabrera reloads now. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Rays will have Rodriguez, Kochman, and Shopik due up when we get to the 9th. And the 1-2. Way outside. Rolls away from Shopik. And to the backstop it goes. Advance the runners.
Everything that Cruz has thrown to Cabrera in this pitch sequence has been away from him. And he does not want to come inside to Miguel. Well, there's proof of that.
Two and 2. Now a base hit could get you a couple of runs. See if that wild pitch becomes big in this inning. Fouled away.
Cruz has thrown a couple of really nice 2-strike pitches up there to Cabrera. One breaking ball down and away with 2 strikes that landed just foul down that right field line. And that pitch right there is a quality 2-strike pitch, but Cabrera able to get a piece of both of them.
Cabrera with his RBI hit tonight, hitting .472 with men in scoring position. They could really use a big knock here to get some breathing room. Shopik has to go down to block that one. 3 and 2.
Well, Cabrera's 7th inning or later numbers are simply off the chain. And they really have been since he put on a Tigers uniform at the beginning of that 2008 season.
Inge and Sizemore, the base runners. 7th inning or later. There you go, 352. Outside, he lost him. That's going to load the bases. He's treading lightly around Cabrera. Now he's got to deal with Martinez with the bases loaded. Papa Grande getting set to make his 9th inning appearance. No, Martinez will step in, not before we get a confab on the mound. The entire infield joining in. By the way, don't forget to join us again tomorrow. It's the middle game in this series against the Rays. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Tigers Live, followed by the game at 7. Tigers Baseball presented by Bell Tire tomorrow evening here on Fox Sports Detroit and Fox Sports Detroit HD. Justin Verlander, Wade Davis will hook up in what we assume will be another good one.
And Jim Hickey, their pitching coach, out there giving some instructions to crews at how they want to try to maneuver their way through Victor Martinez here with 2 outs.
Victor tonight has been walked intentionally, otherwise 0 for 2. Two-1 Tigers here in the 8th. They've got him loaded. Swing and a miss.
That was an unhittable pitch. It's a slider, but it's almost like a knuckleball. But it's a slider. It's a weird looking grip.
Field side. It's a fair ball. It'll go to the corner. Inge scores. Sizemore scores. Cabrera to third. A huge double for Victor Martinez.
Tried to sneak a piece of cheese right past Martinez inside, and Martinez, either he didn't pick this ball up right away or he did not think the ball was going to stay fair, but he pulled his hands in nicely and laced a double down in that corner, and the Tigers increased their lead. What a big knock.
Victor now with 25 RBIs. It's a 4-1 ball game. A bases loaded double by Martinez. Now Dirks will be walked intentionally with first base open.
Take one more look at Victor. He didn't quite know where it was initially, and he was fired up when he got to second base. Check him out.
That is the 6th Tigers hit in the game. It extends the lead now to 4-1.
A lot of walks today by Tampa pitching. I know that's not how they came into play tonight in first place and dominating teams when they play on the road. The situation calls for an intentional walk here to Andy Dirks, but Johnny Peralta has done his best work this year against right-handed pitching.
So this intentional walk will make it 7 walks total for the Tampa staff tonight. Here comes Peralta now with the bases loaded. 4-1 Detroit. They get 2 more here in the 8th. Peralta had a base on balls back in the 7th. Otherwise 0 for 2 tonight. And he waves and misses. Had a big rip. 0-1.
Some of the damage that Peralta has been able to do this year against right-handed pitchers. 313, 4 long balls, 16 driven in.
Driven to center field, base hit. Cabrera scores. Martinez coming home, and he will score.
Make that 18 driven in against right-handers.
2-1 single for Johnny Peralta. They walked Dirks to get to him.
It's something that Peralta has done a much better job of. It's a slider down and away from him. He does not try to pull that ball. He simply takes it right back up the box for a solid single. And a real good jump off second base with 2 outs by Martinez, able to score as well.
Tigers offense coming alive late here with a 4-run 8th. They now lead 6-1. That is the 7th Tigers hit in this game, and Cruz will hit the locker room now and hit the showers. Johnny Peralta with 26 driven in. All smiles on the Tigers bench right now. Key knocks for Martinez and Peralta. Rays go back to the bullpen. And while we have a moment here, we tell you that this copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Detroit Tigers. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Detroit Tigers. So Cruz was not the answer. Cesar Ramos will be coming in. A big inning for the Tigers, scoring 4 times. Here are the numbers on Ramos.
He's been used quite a bit this year. The numbers are not bad. Look at that bottom note. The opponent's batting average is 174 against Ramos.
Well, not to be lost in all that has happened here tonight, the Tigers have gotten some production and some contributions from 2 guys making their big league debuts this year. Andy Dirks has hit a homer tonight, and Charlie Furbush pitching extremely well.
First career home run for Dirks, and you couldn't have asked more out of Charlie here tonight.
Dirks' first big league homer came in the 5th inning. He was walked intentionally here in the 8th to get to Peralta. Johnny made him pay. Here's the 9th man to come to the plate in this inning. That would be Alex Avila. Avila's walked a couple of times tonight. He's also knocked into a double play. And he takes ball 1. Ramos was part of that Jason Bartlett deal that took place last December. 3 separate stints with the San Diego Padres last year. Part of the bullpen the Rays have had to rebuild this season. Big swing and a miss. 1-1 on Avila. Lefties in his career have hit only .203 against him. Strike called, 1-2 now on Avila. Four-run 8th inning for Detroit, turning a 2-1 game into a 6-1 game.
Looks like Valverde's still coming in to pitch the 9th, though. I don't think Jim felt like he had enough time to get anybody else and get them hot.
And he struck him out, so Avila is out of there. The inning is over. The Tigers bat around, but they got 2 really big hits in this inning. Victor started it with a big 2-run double. And then Peralta singles in 2 more. This went up a little bit with a 4-run 8th inning, and so Casper Wells will come into this game now, and he'll play right field. That means Bosch is out of the game. And they also have a new pitcher. That would be Jose Valverde, who was warming up when the score was really tight, and he comes in anyway.
Yeah, Jim probably, if it wasn't 2 outs, he probably would have gotten somebody else up with a 5-run lead here in the 9th and saved Valverde, but he had already gotten him hot and ready to come in the game, so why not bring him in?
And so Valverde will face Sean Rodriguez. Paz is still handing out high fives. A lot of those tonight with a 6-1 Tigers lead.
And Paz didn't get too wet during the rain delay today, I guess.
Here is Sean Rodriguez. Rodriguez and Kochman. And then Shopik due up. First pitch rolled foul, and a broken bat results as well. And a missed play as they battle for that souvenir. So Valverde replaces Joaquin Benoit, who pitched a scoreless 8th. So Benoit now has had 2 8th inning appearances since regaining that position, and he has gone scoreless both times. Rodriguez 0 for 2 plus a walk. Bouncing ball left side. Peralta has a big hop. 1 out. It's going to bring up Casey Kochman. He'll get his first at bat. Casey Kochman has done some good work this year. .352 batting average. Well, it's been pretty good lifetime against the Tigers. .326. Kochman had a big series they just completed in interleague play against the Florida Marlins. He was 5 for 8, with a double, a triple, and 2 RBIs.
Kochman started his career with the Angels too, didn't he?
He did. He was the #1 pick. And blossomed into a decent ball player, decent big league ball player.
He's got a good glove, for sure.
His dad, Tom Kochman, is a scout and a minor league manager in the Angels organization. The 1-0 is outside, 2-0. Also played with Seattle for a bit. The 2001 draft is when he was a #1 pick for the Angels. Valverde behind 2-0. High, 3 balls, no strikes. Valverde came on yesterday in Pittsburgh to close out the Porcello victory. Although Pittsburgh put a couple of men on in that inning, Valverde got the next 3 hitters to preserve it. 3-0. There's a strike, 3-1. That decision by Jim Leyland yesterday was a hot topic of discussion today. Whether or not to leave Porcello in or to bring Valverde in.
That it was.
And there were some vehement arguments on both ends. The 3-1 pitch fouled away.
Had that been Verlander or Scherzer, I think both those guys go back out. I think the fact that Porcello's still young, although he was cruising, that weighed into the decision for Jim Leyland. And you got a closer in your bullpen that's making a pretty nice chunk of change that hadn't blown a save yet this year.
And again, the bottom line was a victory resulted. 3-2 pitch is popped up. Got in on his hands that time. Inch in foul ground.
You'd have thought that the Tigers would have blown that game after all the chirping that was going on. It is now time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast, and we don't have to go back very far to get it. It was a double against Juan Cruz last half inning that pushed the lead to 5 for the Tigers.
One of the big hits in the 4-run 8th.
Actually, Peralta's hit pushed it to 5, but Victor did some damage as well in that 8th inning.
So the fans on their feet now, 21,000 plus here at the ballpark. 21,550 the attendance tonight. Looking for the final out. John Jaso is hitting for Shopik. And the 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes. So he's gone to 3-0 on the pinch hitter, Jaso. Matt Joyce would be next if Jaso keeps this alive. And he will. He draws a 2-out walk. So Joyce will have an opportunity to hit. Meanwhile, Cleveland has now tied Boston 2-2. That game is in the 8th inning. Again, Cleveland came in 7 up on Detroit.
I believe that game was started by Justin Masterson tonight, the former Boston Red Sox.
Well, that was a good one. This one was a good one. The Tigers stretched it out with a 4-run 8th. It was 2-1 going into the 8th inning. So Joyce, the batter. Runner to take second base. There's the line drive to right. Base hit. Jaso keeps running. He'll go to third. And the Rays still alive now with a walk and a single. Meanwhile, we get word now that Asdrubal Cabrera has just doubled in a run to make it 3-2 Cleveland.
Asdrubal is playing like he wants to dethrone Derek Jeter as the starting shortstop in Arizona in July.
3 for 4 tonight
for the All-Star game.
For Cabrera. So here's Sam Fuld with 2 outs and 2 on. And there's a strike on the outer edge. Tomorrow night, Verlander and Wade Davis. Wednesday afternoon, Brad Penny, Andy Sonnenstein. Toward left field, slicing. Foul. So it's 0-2 on Sam Fuld. A 2-out walk to Jaso and a single by Joyce. And the 0-2 just missed inside. Meanwhile, Joyce will take second base. And Avila will go out to the mound now. 1-2 on Fuld. Valverde has thrown 16 pitches, 8 balls, 8 strikes. Phil Koch started this one, needed some help from Furbush in the 4th when Koch left with an ankle injury. Furbush got him all the way to the 8th inning. Benoit and now Valverde in the 9th. High, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Valverde taking his time on the mound now, reaches down for some dirt. Now he's back on the slab. Here's a 2-2 outside, 3-2. I'd prefer not to face Upton, who's waiting on deck. So you might as well get this guy. 3-2. Bay's trying to put together a 9th inning rally here, still down 6-1. Three and two. And a base hit to right field. It's going to get 2 runs in. Sam Fuld has made it a 6-3 game.
No harm, no foul. Let's go, Valverde. Get the last out.
The number 9 hitter singles in a pair, and now it's a 3-run game. That'll bring up the leadoff man, Upton. This has turned into a nail biter for Leland here. Tying run has moved to the on deck circle. And what once seemed real comfortable, but there are 2 outs. Upton has fanned 3 times tonight to go with a walk, a steal, and a run score. He's faced Valverde only once in his career, and he struck out. Ooh, and this one gets away from Avila, goes to the backstop, and this thing is starting to unravel a little bit. That'll move the runner up.
And Valverde's lacking that fastball command here today.
He got Rodriguez on a ground out. He got Kochman on a pop-up. It looked like it was going to be an easy inning for Valverde. But a walk, 2 singles, and a wild pitch. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1 on B.J. Upton. That's in the air. Right field, foul ground, and Cabrera. Oh, what a play. Oh, he couldn't hold on. Cabrera almost made a backhanded play on that ball.
It looked like he overran that ball just a little bit, and then he reached back with his glove in an unorthodox way and just couldn't come up with it.
Off the glove, the heel. And that means Upton's still alive. Oh, the agony. They have given him an error. The 1-2. High, 2 balls, 2 strikes. I think that should have been an error.
Well, they gave him an error like that when we were home last time on a ball that I did not think was an error. That one could have been an error. The other one was a tougher play.
Here's the 2-2. Vila blocks it, 3-2. So now Valverde has thrown 26 pitches, so this is turning into a lengthy inning. It looked like it was going to be a snappy inning.
But you'd like to see some consistency out of your official score. He gave Longoria, well, whoever was hitting got a hit on that ball. He kicked to second base. He wasn't given an error on that play.
3-2. Inside, he has walked in, and Johnny Damon is coming to the plate as the tying run. And here comes Rick Knapp. Second walk in the inning for Valverde. And what seemingly was going to be a breeze of a ninth inning when the first two men were retired has turned into a nail-biter now. And there's going to be more action in the Detroit bullpen now. Albuquerque and Schlerin.
Well, Valverde's getting into that area. If he's not right already in that area where Jim will not be able to use him tomorrow in a save situation. He pitched yesterday, the final inning in Pittsburgh. Today he's thrown 27 pitches, 14 of which have missed the strike zone. Fastball command just really hasn't been there for Valverde today. Everything running out of the strike zone.
Cleveland checking out the lineup card now. Johnny Damon will hit. Meanwhile, Tigers fans have been on their feet for quite a few minutes here looking for that final out. 2 on, 2 outs, 6-3 Detroit. Damon's had a big night tonight, single double. And he lines one right to the first baseman, Cabrera. He hit it like a bullet straight at him.
And Papa Grande had him all the way.
Says you. 6-3 the final score. Oh, was it an interesting ninth inning. But in the end, Tigers win. Everybody take a deep breath. Furbush gets his first big league victory. Stay with us. More coming up from Comerica.